Peace. What's good, YouTube? It's Kareem Samdi back again with another video. So, the sixth chakra, the third eye. Everyone's favorite chakra, right? The biggest chakra, the most popular and mainstream chakra that we all hear about. It's what you think about when somebody mentions spirituality, right? The third eye is very popular for a reason, because the third eye is our center of spiritual power in the higher chakras, right? This is where all the work is done primarily, where we're able to see into the higher realms with the third eye, the inner eye, the mind's eye. So the third eye's element is light, and you can see that light whenever you close your eyes and you actually go into the darkness. You can see the spiritual light coming through. This light is shown to you when you meditate or when you go to sleep, because the third eye produces more melatonin, it produces melanin when you're asleep. And then you go into deeper levels of sleep, you go into deeper levels of your consciousness, and you're able to see the spiritual realms, connect with your higher self, all unconsciously, just because you went to sleep. Sleep is meditation. Sleep is using the third eye. The third eye, it deals primarily with the self that is outside of this world. Now, what we want to do with the third eye is we want to harmonize it and find a way in which we can walk between the physical and the astral world. The third eye, balancing the third eye, is what does that. So the third eye's color is indigo, and sometimes it's shown as purple, but it's generally indigo. That's why I'm wearing indigo today. I got my chakra shirt on, and it's located at the center of the forehead. And the body part that the third eye primarily deals with is the pineal gland within the brain. And whenever we talk about third eye, we always hear about, oh, you have to decalcify the pineal gland. You have to stop drinking fluoride. We'll get into that later. I'm actually going to make more videos about how to activate the pineal gland, or ways to decalcify the pineal gland for those who can decalcify their pineal glands and those who are willing to, because you have to be willing to want to do this, right? So I'll be making a video on how to activate the pineal gland in the future. It's located between the eyebrows, which is why it's also called the brow chakra. And it's pretty much just above the nose, but it's below the center of your hairline. So that's where the third eye's area of operation is. On the body, at least, the physical body. So the third eye's function is to connect you with your higher self. That is the third eye's function. Is the way that the root chakra and the solar plexus and the sacral, they are all physical identity. The third eye is the spiritual identity of yourself. This is your higher self, their higher self's way of perception. The same way that the throat chakra was your higher self's way of expression. You perceive through your third eye. You perceive in different ways, more than just sight, more than just clairvoyantly. The third eye perceives through intuition. And when we get into balancing the third eye, this shows you the divinity within you. This is where, when you really have a balanced third eye, you can recognize that you are God. You can recognize that your connection to everything around you. That's when you really begin to balance the third eye. The third eye deals with melanin in the brain, neuromelanin. And we'll make videos on melanin in the future, because that's a deeper topic. But it's not about the melanin in the skin that determines your spiritual prowess. It's about the melanin in the brain, the melanin in the pineal gland, that determines your spiritual prowess. So all these people talking about, oh, I have melanin, I'm a god, I'm a black god. No, it's more than the skin color. Melanin functions on many different levels. And that, a part of the reason why there's so much focus on the third eye is to distract you from exactly how this part of you actually works. So when we get into melanin in the future, which is something that's always ever changing, by the way, scientifically, when we get into melanin, we'll actually begin to explain these different things. But if you want to learn about yourself right now, get Terrence Owens' book, The Science of Melanin, Myth or Reality. It's something like that. You can get it on Amazon. It's like $10. But the third eye deals with self-reflection, being able to be introspective and see the truth of yourself. Shadow work. If you watch my shadow work video, I talk about how pretty much all all of your spiritual work is done in the darkness. And from that darkness, you can bring forth light. Light is the element of the third eye. Anything dealing with light, which is pretty much all of what the occult and alchemy are about, transforming the darkness within you into light, creating light. That's all third eye work. That's all pineal gland work. This is being able to see the truth of really what you are, because you're not this body. I'm not this body. I'm not even this body talking to you right now. You know, what you're experiencing is a sound coming from me. But for people who are able to take the sound frequency that I'm putting off, people who can see the light within me that's talking to them, they're understanding what I'm saying on a different level, because words can't break down light. Words don't show everything that light can bring you. Sound doesn't travel faster to you than light does. Light is instantaneous almost. So this deals with the higher self and its connection to the cosmos, its connection to everything around it, right? Your higher self is you. It's the God within you. And we are all subsets of the God that we really are when united, the all-encompassing God, Brahman, Allah, the highest of all gods, right? The unified God. See, what we're doing here on Earth, humanity is nothing more than God split up into human form, in under separation, in an illusion, in the Maya, right? We all look different. We all seem different because that's the illusion of the Maya, where we look different, where we attach labels to ourselves to separate ourselves, and we separate ourselves so the Godhead can understand itself. Man ate the fruit of knowledge because he wanted to understand himself and understand what he was, which is something that's made in the image of the all-encompassing God. But to understand, man has to put himself in separation. God had to put himself in separation. So this is breaking down everything into its lowest compound. And when we activate the third eye, it brings us back up, and we begin to see the spiritual truth of all things around us. This is all about perception of truth, because when you perceive light with a third eye, you can see truth. It's more than just seeing spirits. It's more than just talking to spirits. You can talk to spirits. You probably talk to spirits all the time without noticing it. But the third eye is about bringing yourself into light, transforming yourself into light, becoming what you really are, letting go of this ego. Because when you move into the third eye, the ego doesn't exist. I promise you that. So the third eye, it deals with dreams, which is also another form of melanin. It deals with astral travel. It helps you understand your astral travel because you're using your spiritual sight and your clairvoyance to see the truth, to see the astral world, to see the higher worlds, the higher realms beyond the astral world. That's what your third eye can do for you, because you need light to travel. You need light to leave the earth. You need light to experience the cosmos. Without light, you can't get to the cosmos. And that's another thing, because the overall energy of the third eye is the divine feminine. And if you've heard me in other videos, you have to connect with the divine feminine within you to really ascend, because that's how you navigate the spiritual realms. It's all about the divine feminine, and you want to use your masculine energy to understand and break it down into something that you can use to form yourself. You have to harmonize both of those energies. So how you perceive realities beyond the physical realm lies within the third eye. So the third eye deals with visions as well. When you get visions, or when you just get a random person's face, or when you can visualize somebody talking to you, it deals with visualization. The third eye works that way. It's connected to your inner peace. Peace lies within the third eye, because peace is nothing more than being in tune with your own light, in my opinion. And that's my definition of it. So the third eye, this eye is meant to see everything beyond the physical world, because the physical world isn't real, and the astral world technically isn't real either. The only thing real is the light within these realms. So if it doesn't have light, it doesn't exist. And when you balance the other chakras, your third eye is where your work actually happens. It's where the spiritual work comes into tandem and it all joins together. This is the culminating point. This is why I say deal with the lower chakras first, because if you don't deal with them, then your perception of light will be blocked, or it'll be blocked because your ego will get in the way. It'll eclipse the light, and so you won't be able to see things. You'll see a lot of illusions, and we'll get into that later in this video. So this is the deeper connection to your intuition. Your logic is in the lower chakras. Your logic is in the ego. Here you want to bring the spiritual information down, and it transforms you so you can control your universe. This deals with the subconscious mind and your spiritual guidance. The third eye is intuitive, and it works with the realm of transformation. Transformation is also another description of how we describe melanin. Melanin is about transformation, and this is the subconscious mind, how you control your reality through symbols, because your third eye perceives symbols coming into it through the form of light. That's all that the third eye really deals with. It deals with transforming these symbols into something that you can perceive. And symptoms of your third eye activating. So the third eye, it shows you different symbols or images. You might see people, or you could see what people call demons, which are really just entities, or different parts of themselves externalized. And you might see that a lot either throughout the day, or you might see it at night. And actually, this happened to me. I saw a lot of spirits at night. I had a lot of spiritual messages coming to me at night when I was first having my spiritual awakening. And honestly, even before I had my spiritual awakening, this was happening to me, right? And that's a symptom of your third eye activating. That's a symptom of you waking up in general, the Kundalini rising. And what it's going to show you is that it's going to show you things that you might have pushed to your subconscious mind, show you things that you've yet to deal with. And what that does is it turns into darkness. And because our origin is of darkness, when we're actually reactivating this part of ourselves to experience light, we also have to go through the darkness. We have to return back to the primordial self and return back to our origin point. And to really understand ourselves, we have to actually deal with the things that we kept in the darkness about ourselves. Shadow work. So anything that you see that might be scary to you, you might classify it as a demon due to your religious programming or whatever, right? And these things might show up as something that makes you scared, but to activate the third eye, you have to be able to face this. Face yourself. It's all yourself at the end of the day. What you're experiencing is all yourself. So, and when you experience these things, this also happens when you meditate as well, or when you lay down and sleep. But if you experience these things while your third eye is opening up, you have to just let it happen. You're not going to get hurt. I promise you, because I didn't get hurt when this happened to me. And oddly enough, when you let this happen, you let these symbols come to you, they become power for you. You understand different parts of yourself. You transform that darkness within you into light. You can only bring light out of the darkness, right? So you have to deal with the parts of yourself, or parts of yourself that you may not know existed. You have to deal with those things. See, these entities that we see, they take the form of something that's scary because we might have had a misconception of it, right? But if you transform them into light, they can become helpers for you. They can become spirit guides for you. They probably are your spirit guides, but due to your ego's perception, your ego probably getting in the way of the third eye, it might change things to where it becomes something that you're not really capable of dealing with yet. So anything happening in the dark, really, anything that you see in the dark, it's all a symptom of your third eye opening. Ringing in the ears is another one. I got that all the time when my spiritual awakening was happening, and it actually still happens now whenever I'm getting spiritual messages, and I'm able to break that down. Light patterns when your eyes are closed, voices being heard, vivid or lucid dreams, out-of-body experiences, which are astral travels, inner knowing. Those are all symptoms of the third eye activating. So the light within you that you might have hidden shows up as fearful darkness because of your prior fears or your experiences that you shut down as a part of yourself. This is your power, but your power is hiding in the darkness. It's sleeping in the darkness. So you might be a god, but you might not be able to recognize what's inside of you that's sleeping. So you will be a human until you learn how to let go of what makes you human. And what makes you human is your humanity. What makes you human is your ego's attachment to this matrix, right? To trying to be something, but you already have everything within you. You just have to see it. You can only see it when you activate the lower chakras, you activate the third eye, and you're able to perceive the light within you. If you can't do that, you're not a god yet. I promise you that. And when I did that for myself, I transformed. So you can do it too, but you have to actually go within, deal with the darkness, and it's gonna be rough. When you go into the darkness, it's not gonna be easy on you. The higher chakras are where things do get a little bit more uncomfortable, because it's this is a realm that you're not used to dealing with. This is a realm that you're not used to experiencing, and it's really, this is all psychology at this point. So when you're doing the therapy on yourself to rebalance yourself, to rebalance your emotional state, to get in tune with who you are, you're gonna have to go through all those things that you might have pushed back to the subconscious mind. And as you're healing mentally, emotionally, spiritually, you have to break down these walls of fear that shut you down, and you have to break down the subconscious mind programming that's been put on your ass. Because there's a lot of agendas to keep your third eye shut and to keep you stuck in illusion. And there's also agendas to keep you too focused on the third eye so that your energy is overactive. And when it's overactive, you still can't see the light because you'll be stuck in illusion. You won't be able to distinguish what reality is because you have a lack of discernment with an overactive third eye. So you want to find a balance, right? And we'll get into that when we start talking about overactive third eye. So the more you avoid the darkness within you, the more that you avoid the spirits that are there to help you, that are there to help you, or that might appear there, the more that you avoid the truth of the light within you, and really just seeing what's going on, the more that you shut your own energy down, and the more that you build walls of fear. And this also imbalances all the lower chakras as well, because the root chakra deals with fear. So if you begin to have spiritual fear of things that aren't necessarily, that make you comfortable because it's based off of the reality that you see every day, you're imbalancing your root chakra too, and you're raising that fear up, and that fear is getting stuck in your third eye and your higher chakras. So that'll also imbalance the energy too. This is why I say balance the lower chakras first. When you get to the third eye, then you worry about the third eye. All right. So, and these can be easy to break down. You just have to have acceptance, and you have to have courage, right? Courage will pull you through all of your chakras. It'll actually make the spiritual journey easier for you, the chakras easier for you. You have to have courage to face these things, and it could take a while to build up that courage. But watch the solar plexus video, because I'm talking about how you can raise up that courage within you and use it to propel yourself forward. So when nothing bad is going to happen to you. I'm going to say this a lot of times whenever I talk about the third eye. Nothing bad will happen to you. You have to have courage, and these things that you see is just different light frequencies. These light frequencies want to communicate with you because your very nature, the nature of your higher self is light. So stick with it, let it happen, right? Don't try to control everything too much. You are already in control. This is why it's happening. So let it happen the way that it's supposed to happen. It'll take you down the path of your mission, whatever your mission is here. If you want to activate the third eye when you meditate, you can roll your eyes back, and that'll start to really activate the pineal gland again. To activate your third eye, you really have to focus on spiritual action, right? Or you can just focus on the center of your forehead. So when the third eye is balanced, you can discern truth using your intuition. You can see truth. You can see the truth of this matrix. You can see the truth of yourself. Discernment is key, because when your third eye isn't balanced, you can't see the truth. The same way that when your throat isn't balanced, you can't speak your own truth. And you can't hear the truth either with an imbalanced throat. So seeing the truth, experiencing the truth, knowing the truth, since this all deals with intuition, you'll be discerning the truth will be a power for you with your third eye being balanced. So you can receive guidance from your higher self as well, and your spirit guides, whatever spirits that you're working with, you can get guidance from them, and that's another power that you gain. Another power that you gain is detachment from the matrix, detachment from material things, because you already know that you have it within you. I've said this many times. You have everything within you that you need. Anything that you can think of, you have it within you. I promise you that. All these things that a lot of people are out here chasing, wealth, prosperity, sex, everything that we feel would make our lives perfect. The truth of the matter is you have it within you, but your third eye is blocked, so you can't see it. Right? You'll be able to see this when you begin to learn about yourself. When you get knowledge of self, everything opens up for you. So being able to be content and really get peace is by recognizing that you don't need anything. All those things, money can only give you what you already have, except it looks a little bit better. It makes the situations of things that you already have better for you. right? But when you recognize that you have prosperity within, and your prosperity is higher than just a green piece of paper or whatever color it is, depending on whatever country you live in, right? Your prosperity is more than just a piece of paper. Your prosperity is higher than that, right? Imagine, dying but not really understanding what your prosperity is, tying your prosperity to everything in this matrix. You are more than just this body. You are more than just these material things that you have. We're all more than this. This matrix doesn't exist. Money doesn't exist, but light does exist. So when you're able to see light, you're able to see who you really are and why you don't need anything here. You become a master of who you are, a master of yourself. Just like I said, you understand that you have it all within. This is all about knowledge of self. You don't have knowledge of self, you don't have shit. I promise you that. You have an inner knowing. You lose a fear of death because you can see the truth of death. The truth of death is nothing more than transformation. Transformation is light. The darkness turning into the light. Transformation is melanin, right? Spiritual energy. You'll have the spiritual energy to deal with the higher realms. You'll have the spiritual energy to transform yourself. Telepathy is another power that you gain with a balanced third eye. Idealism. You'll be able to see the truth, and you'll also be able to gain higher ideas on a higher spiritual level. Things that are beyond this matrix that you wouldn't even think of, but your higher self can pull it all down for you if you balance a third eye. You'll understand what the cosmos are because you'll have a cosmic consciousness. You'll understand all of the realities beyond this reality, and you won't be so tied to just Earth. You'll be able to see a different part of you. And this is why I say, for those who are ready to let go of humanity, those who are ready to let go of Earth, if you're dealing with that in the occult, which is what it is, if you're dealing with that with spirituality, you're ready to let go of reincarnation. You're ready for enlightenment. You're ready for transformation. Open up your third eye then, because your third eye will show you how to do that in your own way, not in the way that I'm telling you. The way that I'm telling you is nothing more than suggestion. So if it resonates, cool. If it doesn't resonate, you got to find the way. You got to find something that will resonate for you. And when you balance out the third eye, that way will open up for you. But it doesn't matter what I say. What matters is what you find within you, your way, your path. My path isn't the same as your path. Whatever path that you're walking on, if it gives you light, walk that path. There's many different ways to find light, and whatever way works for you, do that. That's what matters. And obviously, when you're balancing the third eye, you also are in tune with spirituality as a whole. You recognize that there is no duality. This is where you begin to move past, lower conceptions of how the universe functions, how we function as divine beings under the illusion of separation. That's what the third eye shows you. And so an imbalanced third eye, what an imbalanced third eye does is it makes you incapable of seeing these things about yourself. You can't see the truth about yourself, or you don't want to. You'll be spiritually stubborn, spiritually blocked. Your energy could be stagnant and you won't know it. And another imbalance of third eye is living out agendas, living out a life in which someone else is controlling you. A lack of control is not only an imbalance of the solar plexus, but it's an imbalance of the third eye as well. Because it's truly your higher self pulling the strings. So, like I said, when you deal with spiritual power, solar plexus, when you deal with that, if you can balance that out, your third eye also balances too. Because it's all about, okay, who's in control here? Is it me, my higher self, or is it something outside of me, right? So anything that imbalances the lower chakras also imbalances a third eye. That's very key, and we have to be aware of this, because if we don't work through the chakras, we'll stay in the matrix, So if you want to get out the matrix, work on your chakras. That's key. And override to third eye, very religiously dogmatic, right? Religion is meant to break down your consciousness and focus it on something singular and rob you of the truth, right? So there's a difference between what's in the Bible, what's in the Quran, and what religion is, right? Because you can read those two books and gain light. Those two books are alchemical. Those two books are esoteric. You can read those two. I've read those two books, and I can get a lot of spiritual information out of them if I go back, and I will. We'll break down the Bible, we'll break down the Quran, and we'll go through that a lot on this channel. But religious is a different thing. because religion is binding yourself to a certain set of values and a certain way of life that somebody else gave you. It's political. It's mind control. Religion is mind control. And if you understand just how cults work, cults and religions function the same way, and they function off of exploiting you and mind controlling you. So read Mind Control 101 by Dandelion Jones. I could go into how religion binds your consciousness down all day, but this is about the third eye, right? And you won't be able to see the truth if your third eye is blocked anyway. You'll be spiritually stubborn. But you can still have a religion or have a belief, right? If you activate the spiritual side of those things, even you can still be a Christian, but if you activate the spirituality and the occult within Christianity, you can still find light, especially if that's what you're here to do. You can still find light. But as far as the religious way of life that's been put upon you through the church, because the church is mind control, the mosque is mind control, all those things are mind control. As far as the way of life that they're putting down on you versus you living life the way that you're supposed to live life, right? That's a different thing. That's mind control. Any form of mind control will imbalance the third eye. I promise you that. I've been a Christian. I've been a Muslim. I've read the Bible. I've read the Quran multiple times, right? You have to find your truth. What they tell you isn't the truth. They're gonna lie to you because they're paid to lie to you. They're made to lie to you. So, but what you find within those books, anybody reading those books, if they just read the books for themselves, because they tell you not to read it for yourself, not to have your own opinion, but if you read the books for yourself, you'll empower yourself. So read those books, right? Dogmatic, you can't really relate to others because you want others to only co-sign with what you say. So what you think is right. But like I said, if this deals with light, there's many different ways to get light. So I don't believe that everybody has to be into the occult to transform and move past the matrix to achieve enlightenment. If I really wanted to, I could focus on other things, right? Not dealing with the occult and still achieve enlightenment, because it's all a matter of what you're here to do. What gives you light? What brings you to a point where you have control? That's key to a point where you can transform. And we're all on different paths. So it doesn't matter whether someone believes in Jesus or not. What matters is, are they transforming? And you don't have to be on a spiritual path to do that. Some of us came here not to be spiritual. And it's just what they do on their mission, because it might not be important for them to be spiritual right now. But a matter of what their mission is different, and we don't know what their mission is. So you can't speak for others. Others don't have to be in the same thought processes as you. So you have to accept others, and you accept by balancing out the sacral chakra and connecting with others. Without enforcing your ideas onto them, being able to be with people who are different from you and not debate them, either internally or externally. Debate blocks you from knowledge of self, and it blocks you from knowledge of connecting with others. Connecting with others is a way of connecting with yourself too. So you cannot be dogmatic if you want to balance out the third eye. You have to let that shit go. Dogma is about humanity. Debate is about humanity. And that shit will keep you stuck. So, egomaniac. When you raise up the lower chakras and you haven't balanced them, your ego will get in the way. So, anything that you're dealing with in the lower chakras, it can create illusion for you, so you won't be able to see the truth. Your light will be blocked. Your spiritual prowess will be blocked. Your melanin will be shut down. You'll be addicted to drugs. If you're overactive in the third eye, drugs can help you open up the third eye. Dependency on drugs will shut your third eye. So you have to be balanced. You're seeing a correlation with these things. You'll be proud, but like overly proud, right? So the third eye, the deadly sin that this one deals with is pride, right? And you'll be manipulative of others as well, because you're not in control of your higher self. You're not in tune with your higher self, so you're going to be manipulative because you haven't balanced out your root chakra. you haven't balanced out the third eye chakra. So you have no way of controlling the subconscious mind. You want to control everything, with the ego. And that'll get in the way. That'll block your spiritual power. That'll shut down the melanin. And you won't be able to really use your spiritual energy to its fullest capability. You'll be authoritative as well. Dogmatic. But, it's all about a lack of control here. And I want to go back to pride, because pride can get in the way, right? We have to really understand, humility is the key with this. You can be proud of yourself and, be accepting, but when you're being too proud to the point where you become arrogant, that's an issue. You don't want to do anything in excess, but an overactive third eye will put that into excess. Especially when, and that ties back into the dogma too, because people who are too proud, especially of their spirituality, they'll be talking down to others, right? Acceptance is key. Acceptance of yourself, acceptance of others. You'll be cold to others, mean to others. You'll be detached and spaced out. You won't be able to see the reality in front of you, right? This is why you want to balance out the third eye and the lower chakras as well. That way you can really be in tune with the realities that are placed in front of you, instead of being an illusion and fantasy all the time, right? Offensive to others, because you are offensive to yourself when you don't see the spiritual truth for yourself. You'll be afraid of your own success because your lower chakras probably aren't balanced if your third eye is balanced as well. And if you were really in tune with yourself, you wouldn't be afraid of anything. So schizophrenia is also a sign of overactive third eye chakra as well. You won't be able to tell the difference between your ego and your higher self, because your discernment will be out of whack. And so this is why I said many times, balance out the lower chakras and then worry about the higher chakras. Because in learning how to understand the ego, you also are able to separate that. And when you get to the heart, you learn what the higher self is. So this is key. A balanced third eye will show you the difference. A balanced heart and throat will show you the difference. Balance out lower chakras will show you the difference. You'll be too suspicious, paranoid, and you will worry all the time. Anxiety block third eye, and also blocks root chakra as well. Block lower chakras in general if you have anxiety. So if you want to balance out the overactive third eye chakra, use the color orange. So work with the sacral chakra more, connect with water more, and just feel safe. Find a way to feel safe, honestly. And letting go of programming, honestly. Political programming, religious programming, education is a way to balance out the third eye chakra. If you really just take time to learn and you let go of your inherited thought processes, your inherited religion, your inherited way of life, really, and you just do things for yourself, your third eye will naturally align. Get into darkness to balance out the third eye as well, because in darkness you can bring out light. So like I said before, whenever you have spiritual experiences in the dark or when you meditate, follow that through. That'll balance out the third eye. Focus more on the physical reality. Ground yourself with the root chakra. Get out in nature. Connect with people. Anything about connecting with the physical reality will help balance out an overactive third eye chakra. It'll ground you, and you'll be more balanced in general. And underactive third eye chakra, you'll have a lot of headaches. Any brain issues will show up as underactive. A learning disability, a lack of education. You'll be depressed. Anxiety, another one. Even with the underactive chakra, anxiety is still a thing. You'll doubt yourself because you won't be in touch with your intuition. So any doubt will block your third eye. It'll make your third eye underactive and limit the energy. You'll be superstitious. And you'll be envious of other people's achievements. You'll be envious of other people in general, but you won't have an acceptance of others. And also, I would say being religious would also still be an underactive third eye chakra or an imbalanced third eye chakra, because if you're relying on things outside of you, you lose the energy, right? Because religion teaches you to give all your energy to something outside of you, right? So you lose your third eye loses spiritual power. You lose connection with your higher self, and your solar plexus loses power too. So how to balance out and underact the third eye chakra? You want to use the color indigo or purple, really. And Anything indigo, any crystals that are indigo or purple, place them on the forehead. When you meditate, you want to visualize indigo. And you also, with the third eye, you also just want to have a lot of self-reflection as well. And just understand, what you say to yourself, journal. A lot of the things that I tell you to balance out the other chakras, they also apply to the third eye as well. So that's how you energize your third eye, really. Anything, and also getting into the darkness, or really just facing your fears head on will energize your third eye. It'll energize you and your higher self. Listening to yourself, listening to your gut, that's a way to balance out the third eye too. Spiritual education will help an underactive third eye. And education and general knowledge of self, it'll benefit all the chakras. So when your third eye is in balance, you'll be confused a lot. And your vision, you also have vision issues as well, because the light in your mind's eye also is connected to the light in your physical eyes. So you won't even be able to see things properly. Any vision problems is a third eye issue. Lapis lazuli is a crystal to work with the third eye. Amethyst is a crystal to work with the third eye. Organite, any organite will help with the third eye as well. And oils and herbs that deal with the third eye: saffron, mugwort, eucalyptus, jasmine, rosemary. Another one would be lavender. Lavender also helps with the third eye. And deities that deal with the third eye: Vishnu, Kali, Shakti, Krishna, Isis, Iris, Morpheus. Any deities dealing with sleep, look into them. Terra, Melanos, and I'm not sure if I said Cyclops, but Cyclops as well. And there's many more. There's a lot more that deal with the third eye. Any deities that deal with darkness, the underworld, are also third eye deities that you can use to balance out and really get in tune with yourself. And other ways to balance out your third eye: visualization, meditation. Meditation is key. If you can't meditate, sorry to say, you'll never open up your third eye. You have to start meditating. Get in touch with that spiritual reality. Daydreaming helps with the third eye as well. Creativity helps with the third eye. And the more that you use visualization, the more that you can open up that part of yourself and open up the other chakras as well. So get in tune with that. Keep track of your dreams. Write down your dreams so you can remember the other side. The other side is still, that's what you see on the other side, what you experience on the other side. That's third eye, right? That's the higher chakras. So become more cognizant of that. Educate yourself on chakras. Get that chakra book by April Fender. Any other chakra book dealing with, chakras for beginners, anything like that, get that, educate yourself on that. That'll help open up the third eye. When you open the lower chakras too, you also open up the third eye. And when you balance out the third eye, you balance out the lower chakras as well. Or you at least energize them more, but you still got to work on them and focus on them too. So that's a third eye video. Hope it inspired you guys, and I hope it motivated you guys to really get in tune with your higher self, get in tune with your spiritual energy. So get those books and do the work. I wish you all luck in your journey and peace.